Hi, this is Michael Kohler with Coral Castle Explained. This is part 3 of my video series on the pineal gland, counter-rotating fields, and Ed's flywheel. In my last video, I told you that there was a reason why the perpetual motion machine, or Ed's flywheel, was no longer operational, and that the reason had been sitting in front of us the entire time. In this video, I will explain not only why it is not working, but what the missing piece is and why Ed built this machine in the first place. Moreover, I will also explain something called a Phi State of Mind, something that I discuss in great detail in my book, Coral Castle Explained, which is the reason Ed made this device and is also part of the secret as to how he was able to build the Coral Castle itself. Ed's flywheel, or perpetual motion device, actually can be seen in Ed's tool room today, which is in the tower, a 243-ton structure that he made, which served as both his residency and his tool room. Ed lived in the upper section, accessible after climbing 16 stairs, and the tool room was directly beneath him here. There have been many theories as to what this device actually did and why it is no longer operational today. Here is my take on not only why it doesn't work, but why he actually built it. And the first clue that led me to this discovery is this. The 3-ton gate is a tetrahedral or triangular shaped piece of coral that sits at the entrance of the Coral Castle. This triangular block is so perfectly balanced that you can push it with your finger and spin the 6,000 piece of coral without any effort at all. After looking at this piece of coral, I realized why the perpetual motion machine was no longer functional. In my previous video, in which I discussed counter-rotating fields and how devices that used them caused some objects to sometimes float, I realized why Ed's perpetual motion device, his flywheel, no longer worked. It was missing the other half. When you spin the 3-ton gate, the triangle is inverted. This same shape, two tetrahedrons superimposed upon one another, can be seen throughout the castle in the form of a 6-pointed star that is in a variety of different locations. Although this shape is important for many other reasons, it also helped me realize that Ed's flywheel, his own counter-rotating field device, was missing its second half. Although this is only a theory, and we can assume that its function was to help Ed levitate the coral blocks into place, there is an even greater question associated with the device. Why did Ed build it? According to the literature, Ed did not start experimenting with electromagnetism until he arrived at Homestead. This means that he used some other means or technique to build the Coral Castle at both the Florida City and Homestead locations. So why build this device at all? What I would like to discuss now is what is called a Phi State of Mind. I believe that Edward Leedskalnin built this device to replicate a Phi State of Mind. Although I discuss this in great detail in my book, the simple version is this. It is a state of mind in which you are perfectly balanced, where both hemispheres of your brain are completely in sync. Although this may sound like New Age mumbo-jumbo to some people, for those of us that can heal, or if you have ever been in the zone while running or thinking, this is the same state of mind that I am referencing. It is also the state of mind that Ed had to be in to access the ability to carve, move, and position the coral. To understand this a little better, I would like to discuss the hemi-sync process and how it relates to differentials and counter-rotating fields. Using a technique called hemi-sync, in which two different frequencies are heard in either ear, the mind naturally synchronizes both hemispheres of the brain together. This is something that people who meditate can do very easily. In essence, the differentials between the two tones that are heard causes the synchronization of the two brain hemispheres, creating a Phi state of mind. If you remember from the last video, differentials were the key to discovering the frequencies that all crystals have. They were built into the Great Pyramid of Giza, and were related to the reason that counter-rotating field devices were actually able to induce a field of anti-gravity. I believe that Ed created this device to induce a field of anti-gravity in the same way that he could by accessing it through a Phi state of mind, so that regular people who were not able to get into this mental state could do what he did. I also believe that Ed was able to achieve the anti-gravity field by properly calibrating the size, speed, and direction of the rotating disc, allowing for this Phi frequency to be obtained. In conclusion, I believe that Ed entered into a Phi state of mind to access the ability to move the coral. He was able to connect with the coral through his pineal gland due to the calcite in the pineal gland itself and the similar crystalline structure within the coral. The perpetual motion machine would have allowed others and Ed to levitate the coral blocks without being in a Phi state of mind. It is a device that no longer works because the other half is no longer there. There is more to this theory, including the use of water, the role of the number 16, and understanding how the Earth's orbit is vital to the entire process. If you would like to learn more about the amazing Ed Leedskalnin and the secrets of Coral Castle, please visit my website today.